the magic word. Here in the secret kindergarten, the world's best show for kids is starting. The Secret Kindergarten Radio Show. Use your ears and your imagination. We're going to play, we're having fun. The Magic Secret Kindergarten on the Revolution Radio Station.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Secret Kindergarten Radio Show. For all you young children out there, and all you young children at heart, we've got a lot of stories today. I'm going to get my reading skills on. And that is the beginning of the Secret Kindergarten. And that's the first song that you learn on the tin whistle. And in case you were wondering, it's the only song that I know. We are reading today. The first story we are reading is a Cambodian folk tale called, let's bring this up. It's called Judge Rabbit and the Tree Spirit. And this book was written by basically writing down the story told by an old lady. She told them the story and they wrote it. So it was a story that was brought down from family to family, community to community, all the way to the present day, just by speaking it, not by writing it. So it's a relatively new written book, but it's been told for a long time. So here we go. Long ago in Cambodia, a young couple sat in peace. Their small house stood a little above the ground and away from the other houses. In the doorway, the young wife talked shyly to her new husband. Tomorrow there was much work to do, but today they could relax in the warm sunshine. Just then, in the distance, they heard the sound of drums approaching. Dum, 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 dum. The coconut trees seemed to shiver in fright as a messenger from the king suddenly appeared. "Enemy soldiers are coming to take our land," he cried. "All young men must help in the fight. Follow me now." He gave the royal orders, then moved on to call others. "Don't go," pleaded the wife. "We are so happy. Please stay here." "If the king commands, I must go," answered the husband. "I will return as soon as I can." And so the wife packed rice with rock salt in banana leaves and scooped the water into a large bamboo tube. She offered the food and water to her husband with a gentle bow. Then she watched sadly as he disappeared into the woods. The husband walked for hours, his sadness following him like a shadow. He thought only of his wife and how much he missed her. At last he stopped to rest beneath a huge banyan tree. "I can't go on," he said. Brother sun was just setting, and the heart-shaped leaves of the banyan tree seemed to rattle uneasily. Shadows danced along its roots. Inside this tree lived a spirit who now watched the husband. "I must return to her," cried the husband, and he started back to his wife. 3 times he ran towards home. 3 times he turned away. Inside him 2 minds and 2 hearts struggled. But finally he followed his orders. With a sob, he marched off to war. There must be something very special in his house, thought the tree spirit, and he floated off to see what it was. When the spirit approached the house, he heard sounds of weeping. He saw a beautiful woman with a full moon face and hair as black as a crow's wing. "She's sad because her husband left her," thought the spirit. "Well, I know a way to make her happy, and me too." Then the spirit, who could change his shape, made himself look just like her husband. Inside the house, the wife heard footsteps coming closer. The door creaked open. She looked out and saw a man standing in the shadows. "My husband?" she called. "What happened?" "They didn't need me," the spirit answered in a familiar voice. "How wonderful!" replied the wife. She poured water over his feet to welcome him, and he entered. The next day, as always, Sun and his brother Moon flew across the sky, and soon days and months had come and gone. Every morning the rooster crowed, "Kokekiku, kokekiku." Every morning the wife watched the man walk to his work, but out of her sight the spirit went right to his banyan tree, for he did not have the strength to stay in disguise all day. Only after sundown could he use his power and become manlike. One evening the spirit husband returned as usual to the house. A few moments later the dogs began to bark furiously and the door opened again. In walked the real husband, who stopped when he saw himself standing near his wife. "Who are you?" he asked his look-alike. "I live here. Who are you?" demanded the spirit husband. "Who is who?" cried the wife. "Why do I see 2 of you?" The wife looked from one to another as they argued. They sounded the same. They looked the same. But she wanted one husband, not 2. "Let us go ask the judge what to do," she pleaded, and off they went. Soon in front of the village judge, her real husband spoke. "That man is lying. He is trying to steal my wife." "I do not lie," shouted the spirit husband. "I am her husband." "Point to the man you married," ordered the judge. The wife tried, but could not decide. "If you can't tell," said the judge, "then all 3 of you must live together." "Never!" shouted the real husband, and he ran off in tears to find help. He stumbled until he heard a familiar sound. Cha, cha, cha. It was Judge Rabbit, sitting on a stump, munching cucumbers. "What is wrong, friend?" he asked kindly. The unhappy husband told the rabbit his troubles. Judge Rabbit scratched his ear. "Don't worry," he said. "Your problem is easy to solve, but you must promise to bring me some sweet bananas and to keep the dogs from bothering me." The husband agreed at once, and they hurried back to the village. "Your Honor, I think I know a solution," declared Judge Rabbit with a bow. "I need only a small bottle." It was soon brought, and the rabbit held it high. Behind his back, He hid a cork. He cleared his throat and straightened his ears. Here is the test. Only the true husband can fit inside this bottle. The one who lies cannot. The spirit husband smiled in triumph. He could easily enter that bottle. Then the wife would be his forever. Let me go first, he demanded. He made himself like the wind and flowed into the bottle. Whoosh! Judge Rabbit quickly covered the bottle, pushed the cork down, and captured the spirit. Take this bottle deep into the woods and throw it far away, ordered Judge Rabbit. The grateful couple did as they were told. They took the bottle deep into the woods, and then they threw it far, far away. As the bottle fell, a bright streak lit up the night sky, and from then on the tree spirit never again bothered the wife and her loving husband. Some say that even today, that ghostly light is sometimes seen at night, to remind us that wisdom can fool even spirits. Alrighty. Now let's move on to another story. I'm enjoying this story reading. I hope you are too. Okay, one more story. And this one's called Peter and the Tree Children. Alright. Here we go. Let me get this page bigger so I can read it properly. Here we go. Every morning, before Peter the forester went out into the woods, he sat on the bench in front of his house. He sipped his coffee, listened to the birds sing, and watched the sun rise over the forest. One day, a squirrel scampered up and sat down next to him as though they were old friends. Its black eyes were brimming with tears. "What's the matter?" asked Peter. He wasn't expecting a reply, but to his surprise, the squirrel said, "I'm all alone and I don't have any family." Peter looked carefully at the squirrel. "That's hard," he said gently. "My children no longer live in the forest with me, but I still have the trees. Did you know they have families too?" "Really?" asked the squirrel. Peter nodded. "Tree parents live with their children." "I didn't know that," said the squirrel, perking up. "Can you show me these tree children?" Peter thought, then nodded. "I haven't seen any tree families lately, but we could look for them together." "Yes, let's!" the squirrel exclaimed. "Come along then," said Peter. "By the way, I'm Peter." The squirrel laughed. "Perfect, because I'm Piet." With that, he leapt off into the forest. "Wait," said Peter. "I can't move as fast as you." But Piet had already disappeared. He had disappeared behind the nearest tree. Peter trudged along after him, his heavy boots making the leaves rustle. All of a sudden, it was really bright. They were in a clearing full of red flowers. Piet peeked out from behind a stinging nettle where a family of caterpillars was happily munching. "Where are the tree children?" he asked. "It's much too hot for them here in the sun," replied Peter. "We have to go deeper into the forest." Piet ran ahead again until... Ooh! Muddy tire tracks stretched out across the forest floor. "Can you carry me, Peter? I don't want my paws to get all dirty." Peter nodded, and Piet climbed up onto his shoulder. They heard a rumbling in the distance. Peter followed the sound along the tracks. When they got to the end, there was a big machine busy cutting down trees. Peter shook his head sadly. "We won't find any tree tree children here either. Look, the machine has packed the soil down so much that little trees can't grow in it. Piet sighed and climbed down from Peter's shoulder. For a long time they walked through the forest together in silence, until they heard a sound in the distance. Piet's nose twitched. "Is that a bird?" Peter smiled. "No, that's my friend Dana and her horse." Branches snapped, and the two of them appeared. "Whoa, Wotan!" The horse stopped. "A short rest for you, my friend," said Dana, stepping out from behind the horse. She took Peter's hand. "Who have you got there?" Piet stood up on his hind legs. "I'm Piet, and I'm looking for the tree children." "I see." Dana looked thoughtful. "I haven't seen any for a while." "At least I won't have muddy paws here," said Piet. "The horse doesn't leave deep tracks." Peter picked up a handful of soil and let it run through his fingers. "Without machines, the earth stays soft and loose," he explained. "Your trees are lucky," Piet told Dana. Then he bounded over to Peter. "Come on, we've got tree children to find." After a while, Peter stopped to pick wild berries for a snack. "I prefer seeds in pine cones," started Piet, when suddenly a big bird swooped past. "Help, a hawk!" Piet jumped into Peter's arms. "Hey, off with you!" Peter shouted at the bird. The hawk flapped its wings, releasing a shower of small feathers as it wheeled around and disappeared. Piet peered out from Peter's arms. "Is it gone?" "Yes, I think he's returned to his nest," said Peter. "So even he has a family," said Piet quietly. A narrow path led steeply uphill. The trees up high were small and twisted. Eventually the slope was bare. "This is a lovely place, but trees can't grow where there's no soil," said Peter. "Oh, look at that!" Piet called and bounded down to the clearing. Peter's face turned bright red. "Someone has cut down all the old trees. What an awful mess!" "Aren't those tree children?" said Piet. He sniffed one of the seedlings the tree planters had planted. "They smell nice, a bit like oranges." "They only smell good to us," said Peter. "This smell is how trees talk to each other, and it means that the trees don't feel so well. They miss being shaded and protected by their families." Piet glanced down. "The poor little trees. This is not how I imagined it at all." "Some trees have a hard life," said Peter sadly, "but let's see if we can find some happy ones." Slowly, Piet followed Peter. Finally, they arrived in an old beech forest. The silvery grey trees formed a roof of leaves way up high. The forest was cool and dark. Piet pointed to small green wings fluttering above the ground. "Look, there are butterflies everywhere." Peter laughed. "No, those aren't butterflies. Those are freshly sprouted beech children." "I know how they got there," Piet giggled. "I hid a lot of beech nuts here last fall so that I'd have enough to eat over the winter. And then I forgot where I buried them." Peter couldn't stop smiling. Beech children with their parents. A beautiful forest. Piet bounded onto his knee. "The most beautiful forest of tree children ever, and we found it!" The sky was beginning to turn pink. "Time to go home," said Peter. When they returned to the forest lodge, Peter made himself a cup of coffee and a snack for Piet. But Piet didn't want a snack. He hung his head. "Piet, you're still upset." A tear rolled down the squirrel's nose. "Everyone has a family, even the trees. Everyone but me." Peter set down his mug, he lifted Piet up so he could look him in the eye. I may not be a squirrel, but I like you very much. Do you want to stay with me? Piet's eyes grew wide. Does that mean we're family now? Of course, said Peter. And we can go and visit the trees again tomorrow? Asked Piet. Of course, Peter said again with a chuckle, and they sat together on the bench, watching the sunset over the forest. Now, I really want a pet squirrel now. Hey, let's play some music from Nancy Stewart of nancymusic.com.
Every tree has roots and trunk and leaves and flowers too. The flowers and leaves and trunk and roots all have a job to do. It all begins with the flowers, for they keep the seeds that grow. When carried by the wind, the birds and squirrels down to the ground below. Every tree has roots, a trunk, and leaves and flowers too. The flowers and leaves and trunk and roots all have a job to do. Leaves are a food factory using sun and water too. We call it photosynthesis, but the trees just call it food. Every tree has roots, a trunk, and leaves and flowers too. The flowers and leaves and trunk and roots all have a job to do. The trunk is the highway of the tree, takes the water from the roots below up to the leaves, then it sends the food back down so the roots will grow. Every tree has roots, a trunk, and leaves and flowers too. The flowers and leaves and trunk and roots all have a job to do. The roots take the water and minerals from the soil where they grow, send them up to the leaves and get the food they need to spread out in the ground below. Every tree has roots, a trunk, and leaves and flowers too. Flowers and leaves and trunk and roots all have a job to do. Working together, all these parts make a lovely place to be. A home to squirrels, birds, and bugs, and a shady place to sit and sing. Every tree has roots, a trunk, and leaves and flowers too. Flowers and leaves and trunk and roots all have a job to do. Flowers and leaves and trunk and roots all have a job to do. There was a tree all in the wood, the prettiest little tree that you ever did see. Well, the tree was in a hole, the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now in that tree there was a nest, the prettiest little nest that you ever did see. Well, the nest was in the tree was in the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now in that nest there was an egg, the prettiest little egg that you ever did see. Well, the egg was in the nest was in the tree was in the hole, and the hole was in the ground. The green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now on that egg there was a bird, the prettiest little bird that you ever did see. Well, the bird was on the egg was in the nest was in the tree, and the tree was in the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now on that bird was a wing, the prettiest little wing that you ever did see. Well, the wing was on the bird was on the egg was in the nest was in the tree was in the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, the green grass grew all around. Now on that wing there was a feather, the prettiest little feather that you ever did see. Well, the feather was on the wing was on the bird was on the egg, and the egg was in the nest was in the tree, and the tree was in the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, the green grass grew all around. Now on that feather there was a bug, the prettiest little bug that you ever did see. Well, the bug was on the feather was on the wing was on the bird, and the bird was on the egg was in the nest, and the nest was in the tree was in the hole, and the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, the green grass grew all around. Yes, the green grass grew all around, the green grass grew all around.
And it's super magical tarot time. The card I pulled for today is called Strength. Now this is an interesting card. This is from the Influence of the Angels Tarot. And why do I use this deck, Influence of the Angels, is because the angels are there behind the scenes working hard for all you young children to grow and develop in the right way. And this card, the Strength card, has a lion on it. And the Strength card also has an angel rubbing the lion's head, patting the lion's head. She's giving him a bit of a cuddle. The lion symbolizes being brave and courageous. The angel is being brave and courageous, patting the lion. And you are brave and courageous like the angel in this card. Embrace bravery and courage like the angel pats the lion. When you need to be brave to do the things you want to do, you need to find the lion inside you. And according to the Whimsical Tarot by Dorothy Morrison, the Strength card is Little Bo Peep. Little Bo Peep shields her eyes from the sun's glare as she searches the countryside for her sheep. The sheep slowly meander her way, but all is not well. A lone wolf perched on the hill above howls a warning to Bo Peep. He tells her to move on, to get out of his way, that supper is waiting, and he doesn't intend to lose it. Bo Peep appears to be calm, cool, and collected. She stands her ground and shows no fear. Well, go little Bo Peep, very brave and courageous. Let's listen to the story, or a story, of Little Bo Peep.
Little Bo Peep, she lost her sheep and didn't know where to find them. Let them alone and they'll come home and bring their tails behind them. So runs the nursery rhyme. Little Bo Peep was a very nice little girl. Her cheeks had a bloom on them like a lovely peach, and her voice sounded like a sweet silver bell. But though little Bo Peep was as good as she was beautiful, she sometimes met with misfortunes that made her very sad. Once, when she lost her sheep, she was very doleful indeed, and this is how it happened. One summer evening, when the sun was setting, little Bo Peep, who had to rise very early in the morning, felt tired, and sat down on a bank covered with daisies. Being very weary, she soon fell fast asleep. Now the bell-wether of Bo Peep's flock was a most stupid and stubborn fellow. I dare say you know that all the sheep in a flock will follow the bell-wether, and that he always wears a bell round his neck. It was a great pity, but the bell-wether of Bo Peep's flock was very wild, and was much given to wander far away into the wood, where of course the rest of the sheep would follow him. Finding little Bo Peep asleep, the tiresome fellow began by standing on his hind legs and making a great bow to his shadow before him on the grass. After this he whirled himself round like a top, shaking his head all the time and ringing his bell. Very soon the rest of the flock began to dance and caper too, and when they had wheeled round their leader for a time, they ran off after him with a bound into the wood. Away they went, till they were quite tired out, and then they came to a standstill, staring at their leader with very blank faces. But the bell-wether looked foolish enough now, and did nothing but shake his head slowly and ring his bell, which seemed to say quite clearly, "You are lost, you are lost." When little Bo Peep awoke, she found her sheep gone, and hardly knowing what she did, she walked on and on far into the wood. She met some people with hoes and rakes in their hands, and asked them if they had seen her sheep, but they only laughed at her and said no. One man was very cross and threatened to beat her. At last she came to a stile on which the old raven was perched. He looked so wise that little Bo Peep asked him whether he had seen a flock of sheep, but he cried, "Caw, caw, caw." So Bo Peep ran on again across the fields. She wandered on till nightfall, and being faint with hunger, she was very glad to see a light just before her. As she went on, she saw that it shone from a cottage window, but when she came to the door, it looked so dark and dismal that she was afraid to go in, and was just going to run away, when a cross-looking old woman came out and dragged her into the cottage. She made her sit by the side of her son, who was a very ugly youth, with a great red face and red hair. The old woman told him that she had brought Bo Peep to his wife. So Bo Peep, who did not like him at all, ran away while they were asleep. But she did not know where to go, and gave herself up for lost, when she heard something cry, "Tu-whit-tu-woo," in the tree above her. It was a great owl, which began flapping its wings with joy. Bo Peep was frightened at first, but as the owl seemed very kind, she followed it. It took her to a cottage where there was plenty to eat and drink, and then, to Bo Peep's great surprise, it began to speak and told her this story. "Know, dear maiden," said the owl, "that I am the daughter of a king, and was a lovely princess. But I was changed into an owl by an old woman at the cottage, because I would not marry her ugly son. But I have heard the fairies say that one day a lovely maiden, who would come into this wood to find her lost sheep, should be the means of my gaining my own form again. You are that pretty maid, and I will take you to a spot where you will find your sheep, but without their tails. The elves will play with them for this night, but in the morning every sheep will have its tail again, except the stupid bell-wether. You must then wave his tail 3 times over my head, and I shall resume my shape again." The owl flew off and led Bo Peep into the wood and said, "Sleep, maiden, and I will watch." How long she was asleep she could not tell, but the charmed spot was suddenly lighted up, and she saw the Queen of the Fairies seated on a bank. The Queen said the sheep should be punished for running away. She then saw all her sheep come tripping into the place, and on every sheep there was an elf, who held in his hand a sheep's tail. After riding them about for some time, and having great fun with them, the mad sport ceased, and each elf restored the tail to his sheep, all but the bell-wethers, which their leader hid in a tree. When Bo Peep awoke, she saw the owl flapping its wings, as if to remind her of her promise. So she fetched the tail and waved it 3 times over its head, when up started the most charming princess that ever was seen. The princess gave Bo Peep a beautiful cottage, and her sheep never ran away from their kind mistress again.
Well, who would have thought there was a little more to the story of Little Bo Peep. What a magical story. And that's what the Secret Kindergarten's all about, bringing back the magic. Now, according to Dr. Stephen Farmer, from his Power Animals book, let's listen to what the lion has to say to us. My being exudes dignity, divinity, and nobility. It's not so much my roar that everybody fears, my mere presence demands respect and deference. I don't qualify this with false humility, self-degradation, or apology, nor, in spite of what you've heard, do I feel any sense of pride whatsoever in who I am. I don't need to. I'm just very clear. If you need to roar to clear the way for your own self-acceptance, then please do so. Once you've done this, listen closely to your heart. It sings of your purpose, even though your purpose may change and shift with time and age. That's where you'll find the courage to be who you are. Not in your mind, not in the world around you, but in the center of your body and being. Life will unfold and support you as long as you honor and follow your heart. There truly is no other way. Although you may be tempted and swayed by externals, especially others' opinions and judgments about you, sit quietly in the savannah of your personal sanctuary and simply listen. Listen with all of yourself. Tune into the knowingness that resides in your bones and in your soul to help you go forward in life. Once you hear the call, move ahead without second thoughts or doubts of any kind. Know that you're protected, that absolutely nothing can harm you as long as you're listening and operating from that most precious of founts, your heart of hearts. Well, there you go. I never knew the lion had so much to say. Let's listen to some music.
Tingaleo, run my little donkey, run. Tingaleo, run my little donkey, run. Me donkey walk, me donkey talk, me donkey eat with a knife and fork. Me donkey walk, me donkey talk, me donkey eat with a knife and fork. Tingaleo, run my little donkey, run. Tingaleo, run my little donkey, run. Me donkey eat, me donkey sleep, me donkey kick with his 2 hind feet. Me donkey eat, me donkey sleep, me donkey kick with his 2 hind feet. Tingaleo, run my little donkey, run. Tingaleo, run my little donkey, run. Me donkey come and me donkey go, me donkey fast and me donkey slow. Me donkey come and me donkey go, Sow the seeds in the ground below. Add the sun and the rain, see the flowers grow. I can see in front of me an iris just as pretty as can be. Plant a little seed, watch it grow. Soon we will have a vegetable. This one's orange and rabbits like to eat it. It's a carrot. Plant a little seed, watch it grow. Soon we will have a vegetable. This one grows under the ground, and when it's ready to eat, you have to dig it up. It's a potato. Plant a little seed, watch it grow. Soon we will have a vegetable. You might call this one little trees because it looks like little trees. It's broccoli. Plant a little seed, watch it grow. Soon we will have a vegetable. This one's long and yellow, and sometimes we pop it. It's corn. Plant a little seed, watch it grow. Soon we will have a vegetable. This one's round and green, and we call it a head. It's a head of lettuce. On the farmer's apple tree, 3 red apples I can see. Some for you and some for me. Pick 1 apple from the apple tree. On the farmer's apple tree, 2 red apples I can see. Some for you and some for me. Pick 1 apple from the apple tree. On the farmer's apple tree, 1 red apple I can see. Some for you and some for me. Pick 1 apple from the apple tree. Clap, clap, clap your hands as slowly as you can. Clap, clap, clap your hands as quickly as you can. Pound, pound, pound your hands as slowly as you can. Pound, pound, pound your hands as quickly as you can. Shake, shake, shake your hands as slowly as you can. Shake, shake, shake your hands as quickly as you can. Pat, pat, pat your face as slowly as you can. Pat, pat, pat your face as quickly as you can. I like to eat my apples, red and yellow too. And if you bring me apples green, I'll make an apple pie for you. Come on, shake, shake, shake your apples. Shake 'em way up high. Shake 'em to the left and shake 'em to the right. Let's have a little apple pie. Ooh, I like to eat bananas, ripe and yellow too. And if they're really, really ripe, I'll make banana cream pie for you. Come on, shake, shake, shake your bananas. Shake 'em way up high. Shake 'em to the left and shake 'em to the right. Let's have a little banana cream pie. Come on, shake, shake, shake your apples. Shake your bananas too. Shake 'em to the left and shake 'em to the right. I'll make a fruit salad for you, it's true. I'll make a fruit salad for you, that's what I'll do. I'll make a fruit salad for you. Find me a rock that's smooth and round. Find me a rock down under the ground. Find me a rock that I can pound. Listen to the sound, listen to the sound. Oh, we sana sana, 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 oh, we sana sana. Over the river and through the woods to grandfather's house we go. The horse knows the way to carry the sleigh through white and drifted snow. Over the river and through the woods, oh how the wind does blow. It stings the toes and bites the nose as over the ground we go. Over the river and through the wood to have a first-rate play. Oh, hear the bell ring, ting-a-ling-ling, hurrah for Thanksgiving Day. Over the river and through the woods, trot fast my dapple gray. Spring over the ground like a hunting hound, for this is Thanksgiving Day. Over the river and through the woods and straight through the barnyard gate, we seem to go extremely slow. It is so hard to wait. Over the river and through the woods, now grandmother's cap I spy. Hurrah for the fun, the pudding done. Hurrah for the pumpkin pie. Did you have your breakfast? Did you get a good night's sleep? Then you'll have lots of energy. Get up, get on your feet. Get up and shake, 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 shake your hands. Jump, jump, jump up and down. Turn, 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 turn around. Reach way up high and sit back down. Stirring up the molecules creates a lot of heat. So let's stir up the molecules. Get up, get on your feet. Get up and shake, 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 shake your hands. Jump, jump, jump up and down. Turn, 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 turn around. Reach way up high and sit back down. Put your hands together now and clap along with me. Just like the sun that shines, you have a lot of energy. Get up and shake, 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 shake your hands. Jump, jump, jump up and down. Turn, 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 turn around. Reach way up high and sit back down. From sun to light and light to heat, it changes all the time. Moving, working, doing, energy's a busy guy. Get up and shake, 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 shake your hands. Jump, jump, jump up and down. Turn, 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 turn around. Reach way up high and sit back down. Kids have lots of energy, they're always on the go. Running, jumping, dancing, you need energy to grow. Get up and shake, 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 shake your hands. Jump, jump, jump up and down. Turn, 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 turn around. Reach way up high and sit back down. Reach to the sky and sit back down. Energy, 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 energy.
let's get back to our friend Maya the bee. Now, where is Maya the bee? She's here somewhere. Where have I lost her? There we go. We are now up to Chapter 6. Chapter 6, Puck. From the story, The Adventures of Maya the Bee, by Waldemar Bonsels.
Adventures of Maya the Bee, by Waldemar Bonsels. Chapter 6, Puck. Maya, drowsy with the noonday heat, flew leisurely past the glare on the bushes in the garden, into the cool, broad-leaved shelter of a great chestnut tree. On the trodden sward in the shade under the tree stood chairs and tables, evidently for an outdoor meal. A short distance away gleamed the red-tiled roof of a peasant's cottage, with thin blue columns of smoke curling up from the chimneys. Now at last, thought Maya, she was bound to see a human being. Had she not reached the very heart of his realm? The tree must be his property, and the curious wooden contrivances in the shade below must belong to his hive. Something buzzed. A fly alighted on the leaf beside her. It ran up and down the green veining in little jerks. You couldn't see its legs move, and it seemed to be sliding about excitedly. Then it flew from one finger of the broad leaf to another, but so quickly and unexpectedly that you might have thought it hadn't flown but hopped. Evidently it was looking for the most comfortable place on the leaf. Every now and then, in the suddenest way, it would swing itself up in the air a short space and buzz vehemently, as though something dreadfully untoward had occurred, or as though it were animated by some tremendous purpose. Then it would drop back to the leaf as if nothing had happened, and resume its jerky racing up and down. Lastly, it would sit quite still, like a rigid image. Maya watched its antics in the sunshine, then approached it and said politely, "How do you do? Welcome to my leaf. You are a fly, are you not?" "What else do you take me for?" said the little one. "My name is Puck. I'm very busy. Do you want to drive me away?" "Why, not at all. I am glad to make your acquaintance." "I believe you," was all Puck said, and with that he tried to pull his head off. "Mercy!" cried Maya. "I must do this. You don't understand. It's something you know nothing about," Puck rejoined calmly, and slid his legs over his wings till they curved round the tip of his body. "I'm more than a fly," he added with some pride. "I'm a housefly. I flew out here for the fresh air." "How interesting!" exclaimed Maya gleefully. "Then you must know all about human beings." "As well as the pockets of my trousers," Puck threw out disdainfully. "I sit on them every day. Didn't you know that? I thought you bees were so clever. You pretend to be, at any rate." "My name is Maya," said the little bee rather shyly. Where the other insects got their self-assurance, to say nothing of their insolence, she couldn't understand. "Thanks for the information. Whatever your name, you're a simpleton." Puck sat there tilted like a cannon in position to be fired off, his head and breast thrust upward, the hind tip of his body resting on the leaf. Suddenly he ducked his head and squatted down so that he looked as if he had no legs. "You've got to watch out and be careful," he said. "That's the most important thing of all." But an angry wave of resentment was surging in little Maya. The insult Puck had offered her was too much. Without really knowing what made her do it, she pounced on him quick as lightning, caught him by the collar, and held him tight. "I will teach you to be polite to a bee," she cried. Puck set up an awful howl. "Don't sting me," he screamed. "It's the only thing you can do, but it's killing. Please remove the back of your body. That's where your sting is. And let me go. Please let me go, if you possibly can. I'll do anything you say. Can't you understand a joke? A mere joke. Everybody knows that the bees are the most respected of all insects, and the most powerful, and the most numerous. Only don't kill me. Please don't. There won't be any bringing me back to life. Good God, no one appreciates my humor. Very well, said Maya, with a touch of contempt in her heart. I'll let you live on condition that you tell me everything you know about human beings. Gladly, cried Puck. I'd have told you anyhow, but please let me go now. Maya released him. She had stopped caring. Her respect for the fly and any confidence she might have had in him were gone. Of what value could the experiences of so low, so vulgar a creature be to serious-minded people? She would have to find out about human beings for herself. The lesson, however, had not been wasted. Puck was much more endurable now. Scolding and growling, he set himself to rights. He smoothed down his feelers and wings and the minute hairs on his black body, which were fearfully rumpled, for the girl bee had laid on good and hard, and concluded the operation by running his proboscis in and out several times, something new to Maya. Out of joint, completely out of joint, he muttered in a pained tone. Comes of your excited way of doing things. Look, see for yourself. The sucking disc at the end of my proboscis looks like a twisted pewter plate. Have you a sucking disc? Asked Maya. Good gracious, of course. Now tell me, what do you want to know about human beings? Never mind about my proboscis being out of joint. It'll be all right. I think I had best tell you a few things from my own life. You see, I grew up among human beings, so you'll hear just what you want to know. You grew up among human beings? Of course. It was in the corner of their room that my mother laid the egg from which I came. I made my first attempts to walk on their window shades, and I tested the strength of my wings by flying from Schuyler to Gotha. What are Schuyler and Gotha? Statues, explained Puck, very superior. Statues of two men who seem to have distinguished themselves. They stand under the mirror, one on the right hand and one on the left hand, and nobody pays any attention to them. What's a mirror? And why do the statues stand under the mirror? A mirror is good for seeing your belly when you crawl on it. It's very amusing. When human beings go up to a mirror, they either put their hands up to their hair or pull at their beards. When they are alone, they smile into the mirror, but if somebody else is in the room, they look very serious. What the purpose of it is, I could never make out. Seems to be some useless game of theirs. I myself, when I was still a child, suffered a good deal from the mirror. I'd fly into it and, of course, be thrown back violently. Maya plied Puck with more questions about the mirror, which he found very difficult to answer. Here, he said at last, you've certainly flown over the smooth surface of water, haven't you? Well, a mirror is something like it, only hard and upright. The little fly, seeing that Maya listened most respectfully and attentively to the tale of his experiences, became a good deal pleasanter in his manners, and as for Maya's opinion of Puck, although she didn't believe everything he told her, still she was sorry she had thought so slightingly of him earlier in their meeting. Often people are far more sensible than we take them to be at first, she told herself. Puck went on with his story. It took a long time for me to get to understand their language. Now at last I know what they want. It isn't much, because they usually say the same thing every day. I can scarcely believe it, said Maya. Why, they have so many interests, and think so many things, and do so many things. Cassandra told me that they build cities so big that you can't fly round them in one day, towers as high as the nuptial flight of our queen, houses that float on the water, and houses that glide across the country on 2 narrow silver paths and go faster than birds. Wait a moment, said Puck energetically. Who is Cassandra? Who is she, if I may make so bold as to ask? Well? Oh, she was my teacher. Teacher, repeated Puck contemptuously. Probably also a bee. Who but a bee would overestimate human beings like that? Your Miss Cassandra, or whatever her name is, doesn't know her history. Those cities and towers and other human devices you speak of are none of them any good to us. Who would take such an impractical view of the world as you do? If you don't accept the premise that the earth is dominated by the flies, that the flies are the most widespread and most important race on earth, you'll scarcely get a real knowledge of the world." Puck took a few excited zigzag turns on the leaf and pulled at his head, to Maya's intense concern. However, the little bee had observed by this time that there wasn't much sense to be got out of his head anyway. "Do you know how you can tell I am right?" asked Puck, rubbing his hands together as if to tie them in a knot. "Count the number of people and the number of flies in a room. The result will surprise you." "You may be right, but that's not the point." "Do you think I was born this year?" Puck demanded all of a sudden. "I don't know." "I passed through a winter," Puck announced, all pride. "My experiences date back to the Ice Age. In a sense, they take me through the Ice Age. That's why I'm here. I'm here to recuperate." "Whatever else you may be, you certainly are spunky," remarked Maya. "I should say so," exclaimed Puck, and made an airy leap out into the sunshine. "The flies are the boldest race in creation. We never run away unless it is better to run away, and then we always come back. Have you ever sat on a human being?" "No," said Maya, looking at the fly distrustfully out of the corner of her eye. She still didn't know quite what to make of him. "No, I'm not interested in sitting on human beings." "Ah, dear child, that's because you don't know what it is. If ever you had seen the fun I have with the man at home, you'd turn green with envy, I'll tell you. In my room there lives an elderly man who cherishes the color of his nose by means of a peculiar drink, which he keeps hidden in the corner cupboard. It has a sweet, intoxicating smell. When he goes to get it, he smiles, and his eyes grow small. He takes a little glass, and he looks up to the ceiling while he drinks, to see if I am there. I nod down to him, and he passes his hand over his forehead, nose, and mouth, to show me where I am to sit later. Then he blinks, and opens his mouth as wide as he can, and pulls down the shade to keep the afternoon sun from bothering us. Finally, he lays himself down on something called a sofa, and in a short while begins to make dull snuffling sounds. I suppose he thinks the sounds are beautiful. We'll talk about them some other time. They are man's slumber song. For me, they are the sign that I am to come down. The first thing I do is to take my portion from the glass, which he left for me. There's something tremendously stimulating about a drop like that. I understand human beings. Then I fly over and take my place on the forehead of the sleeping man. The forehead lies between the nose and the hair and serves for thinking. You can tell it does from the long furrows that go from right to left. They must move whenever a man thinks if something worthwhile is to result from his thinking. The forehead also shows if human beings are annoyed. But then the folds run up and down, and a round cavity forms over the nose. As soon as I settle on his forehead and begin to run to and fro in the furrows, the man makes a snatch at the air with his hands. He thinks I'm somewhere in the air. That's because I'm sitting on his think furrows, and he can't work out so quickly where I really am. At last he does. He mutters and jabs at me. Now then, Miss Maya, or whatever your name is. Now then, you've got to have your wits about you. I see the hand coming, and I wait until the last moment. Then I fly nimbly to one side, sit down, and watch him feel to see if I am still there. We kept the game up often for a full half-hour. You have no idea what a lot of endurance the man has. Finally he jumps up and pours out a string of words which show how ungrateful he is. Well, what of it? A noble soul seeks no reward. I'm already up on the ceiling listening to his ungrateful outburst. "I can't say I particularly like it," observed Maya. "Isn't it rather useless?" "Do you expect me to erect a honeycomb on his nose?" exclaimed Puck. "You have no sense of humor, dear girl. What do you do that's useful?" Little Maya went red all over, but quickly collected herself to hide her embarrassment from Puck. "The time is coming," she flashed, "when I shall do something big and splendid and good and useful, too. But first I want to see what is going on in the world. Deep down in my heart I feel that the time is coming." As Maya spoke, she felt a hot tide of hope and enthusiasm flood her being. Puck seemed not to realize how serious she was and how deeply stirred. He zigzagged about in his flurried way for a while, then asked, "You don't happen to have any honey with you, do you, my dear?" "I'm so sorry," replied Maya. "I'd gladly let you have some, especially after you've entertained me so pleasantly, but I really haven't got any with me." "May I ask you one more question?" "Shoot," said Puck. "I'll answer. I'll always answer." "I'd like to know how I could get into the human being's house." "Fly in," said Puck sagaciously. "But how, without running into danger?" "Wait until a window is opened, but be sure to find the way out again. Once you're inside, if you can't find the window, the best thing to do is to fly toward the light. You'll always find plenty of windows in every house. You need only notice where the sun shines through. Are you going already?" "Yes," replied Maya, holding out her hand. "I have some things to attend to. Good-bye. I hope you quite recover from the effects of the Ice Age." And with her fine, confident buzz that yet sounded slightly anxious, little Maya raised her gleaming wings and flew out into the sunshine across to the flowery meadows to cull a little nourishment. Puck looked after her and carefully meditated what might still be said. Then he observed thoughtfully, "Well now, well, why not?" End of chapter 6.
Wow. And the more Maya goes out into the world and explores and plays and interacts with others and the environment, the more confident she grows, the more self-esteem she's got. Let's listen to some music.
Every birdie has a song to sing. Every birdie has a song to sing. You hear it singing all day long, for a birdie has to sing his song. Every birdie has a song to sing. And every baby has a song to sing. Every baby has a song to sing. And though it won't have any words, it's the sweetest song you've ever heard. Every baby has a song to sing. Every mother has a song to sing. Every mother has a song to sing. A song for singing when it's light, and a lullaby to sing at night. Every mother has a song to sing. Every daddy has a song to sing. Every daddy has a song to sing. You hear him holler out a song or humming quietly along. Every daddy has a song to sing. Every grandma has a song to sing. Every grandma has a song to sing. And when she sings her song to you, then it becomes your song too. Every grandma has a song to sing. Every grandpa has a song to sing. Every grandpa has a song to sing. A song of happiness or strife, a song he's carried all his life. Every grandpa has a song to sing. Everybody has a song to sing. Everybody has a song to sing. And when we're singing the same song, you know we just can't do it wrong. Everybody has a song to sing. And when we're singing the same song, you know we just can't do it wrong. Everybody has a song to sing. Everybody has a song to sing. Make a little rhythm all all together make a little rhythm, now give it away. Make a little rhythm all together, make a little rhythm, now give it away. Make a little rhythm all together, make a little rhythm, now give it away. Make a little rhythm all together, make a little rhythm, now give it away. Make a little rhythm all together, make a little rhythm, now give it away. On my birthday, my brother gave an insect to me. It had 3 parts to its head, thorax, abdomen. On my birthday, my brother gave an insect to me. It had 6 hairy legs and 3 parts to its head, thorax, abdomen. On my birthday, my brother gave an insect to me. It had 2 antennae, 6 hairy legs, and 3 parts to its head, thorax, abdomen. On my birthday, my brother gave an insect to me. It had 4 fine wings, 2 antennae, 6 hairy legs, and 3 parts to its body, thorax, abdomen. On my brother's birthday, I gave the insect back to him. It had 4 fine wings, 2 antennae, 6 hairy legs, and 3 parts to its body, thorax, abdomen. There was a tree all in the wood, the prettiest little tree that you ever did see. Well, the tree was in a hole, the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now in that tree there was a nest, the prettiest little nest that you ever did see. Well, the nest was in the tree was in the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now in that nest there was an egg, the prettiest little egg that you ever did see. Well, the egg was in the nest was in the tree was in the hole, and the hole was in the ground. The green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now on that egg there was a bird, the prettiest little bird that you ever did see. Well, the bird was on the egg was in the nest was in the tree, and the tree was in the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now on that bird there was a wing, the prettiest little wing that you ever did see. Well, the wing was on the bird was on the egg was in the nest was in the tree was in the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now on that wing there was a feather, the prettiest little feather that you ever did see. Well, the feather was on the wing was on the bird was on the egg was in the nest was in the tree, and the tree was in the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, the green grass grew all around. Now on that feather there was a bug, the prettiest little bug that you ever did see. Well, the bug was on the feather was on the wing was on the bird, and the bird was on the egg was in the nest, and the nest was in the tree was in the hole, and the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, the green grass grew all around. Yes, the green grass grew all around, the green grass grew all around.
Whoa! Can you guess where I am? Because it's nature time. Where do you think I am? I'm in an African savanna at night time. And I'm just outside a village. Because today's nature topic is the lion, of course. Because we saw the lion on our magic tarot card. So let's talk about lions. Lions are large cats that live on grassy plains, and a grassy plain is called a savanna. In Africa, and also in some grasslands of India, these golden-coloured felines grow up to 6 feet, which is 1.8 meters long, and they weigh up to 420 pounds. Which is 190 kgs. Lions live for about 15 years in the wild. The scientific name for lions is Panthera leo. Lions live in permanent groups called prides. These prides have up to 25 lions in them. The home territory of a pride can be over 100 square miles, which is 260 square kilometers. The females do most of the hunting, often hunting in groups. Lions are nocturnal, which means that they're more active at night. Lions hunt antelopes, zebras, wildebeest, warthogs, and other large herding animals. And there we go. I learned something about that too. I never knew that they had up to 25 lions in a pride. So let's hear some fables and stories about lions. And let's see what qualities of the lion come out in the story. So this one's called The Lion's Share.
The Lion's Share. The lion went once a-hunting along with the fox, the jackal, and the wolf. They hunted and hunted till at last they surprised a stag and soon took its life. Then came the question how the spoil should be divided. "Quarter me the stag," roared the lion. So the other animals skinned it and cut it into 4 parts. Then the lion took his stand in front of the carcass and pronounced judgment. The first quarter is for me in my capacity as king of beasts. The second is mine as arbiter. Another share comes to me for my part in the chase. And as far as the fourth quarter, well, as for that, I should like to see which of you will dare lay a paw upon it. Grumbled the fox as he walked away with his tail between his legs, but he spoke in a low growl. You may share the labors of the great, but you will not share the spoil.
Well, the lion was, in a way, he was fair. In a way. But yeah, he didn't want to share. Okay, let's listen to another story. This is Androcles and the Lion.
Androcles and the Lion, from Europa's Fairy Book by Joseph Jacobs. It happened in the old days at Rome that a slave named Androcles escaped from his master and fled into the forest, and he wandered there for a long time till he was weary and well nigh spent with hunger and despair. Just then he heard a lion near him, moaning and groaning, and at times roaring terribly. Tired as he was, Androcles rose up and rushed away, as he thought, from the lion, but as he made his way through the bushes he stumbled over the root of a tree and fell down lamed. And when he tried to get up, there he saw the lion coming towards him, limping on 3 feet and holding his forepaw in front of him. Poor Androcles was in despair. He had not strength to rise and run away, and there was the lion coming upon him. But when the great beast came up to him, instead of attacking him, it kept on moaning and groaning and looking at Androcles, who saw that the lion was holding out his right paw, which was covered with blood and much swollen. Looking more closely at it, Androcles saw a great big thorn pressed into the paw, which was the cause of all the lion's trouble. Plucking up courage, he seized hold of the thorn and drew it out of the lion's paw, who roared with pain when the thorn came out, but soon after found such relief from it that he fawned upon Androcles and showed in every way that he knew to whom he owed the relief. Instead of eating him up, he brought him a young deer that he had slain, and Androcles managed to make a meal from it. For some time the lion continued to bring the game he had killed to Androcles, who became quite fond of the huge beast. But one day a number of soldiers came marching through the forest and found Androcles, and as he could not explain what he was doing, they took him prisoner and brought him back to the town from which he had fled. Here his master soon found him and brought him before the authorities, and he was condemned to death because he had fled from his master. Now, it used to be the custom to throw murderers and other criminals to the lions in a huge circus, so that while the criminals were punished, the public could enjoy the spectacle of a combat between them and the wild beasts. So Androcles was condemned to be thrown to the lions, and on the appointed day he was led forth into the arena and left there alone with only a spear to protect him from the lion. The emperor was in the royal box that day, and gave the signal for the lion to come out and attack Androcles. But when it came out of its cage and got near Androcles, what do you think it did? Instead of jumping upon him, it fawned upon him and stroked him with its paw, and made no attempt to do him any harm. It was, of course, the lion which Androcles had met in the forest. The emperor, surprised at seeing such a strange behavior in so cruel a beast, summoned Androcles to him, and asked how it happened that this particular lion had lost all its cruelty of disposition. So Androcles told the emperor all that had happened to him, and how the lion was showing its gratitude for having relieved it of the thorn. Thereupon the emperor pardoned Androcles and ordered his master to set him free, while the lion was taken back into the forest and let loose to enjoy liberty once more.
Well, boy, does it take courage and bravery and strength to help the lion and tame the lion as Androcles did. Let's hear some music. This one's called Nocturnal Animals.
On a moonlit night when the stars are out, there are nocturnal animals all about. Ooh, ooh, what do I see? A wise old owl looking at me. On a moonlit night when the stars are out, there are nocturnal animals all about. Meow, meow, what do I see? A big black cat just looking at me. On a moonlit night when the stars are out, there are nocturnal animals all about. Ee, 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 what do I see? A little bat just looking at me. On a moonlit night when the stars are out, there are nocturnal animals all about. Ribbit, ribbit, what do I see? A big green tree frog looking at me. On a moonlit night when the stars are out, there are nocturnal animals all about. Squeak, 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 what do I see? A garden dormouse looking at me. Who are you? The owl seems to say. Who are you? He's asking every day. Owl, I have some questions for you. Where do you live and why do you who? What do you eat and when do you sleep? Yes, I have questions too. Who are you? Who are you? Owl, I have some questions for you. Where do you live and why do you who? What do you eat and when do you sleep? Yes, I have questions too. Who are you? Yes, I have questions too. Little cat, meow. Little cat, meow. There's a little cat walking all around. Little cat, meow. Little cat, meow. There's a little cat walking all around. Little duck, quack, quack. Little duck, quack, quack. There's a little duck walking all around. Little duck, quack, quack. Little duck, quack, quack. There's a little duck walking all around. Little pig, little pig. There's a little pig walking all around. Little pig, little pig. There's a little pig walking all around. Little mouse, squeak, squeak. Little mouse, squeak, squeak. There's a little mouse walking all around. Little mouse, squeak, squeak. Little mouse, squeak, squeak. There's a little mouse walking all around. An owl sat alone on the branch of a tree, and she was as quiet could be. 'Twas night and her eyes were wide open like this. She looked all around, not a thing did she miss. Some little birds perched on the branch of the tree, and they were as quiet could be. The solemn old owl said, "Hoo, hoo, hoo," and up jumped the birds, and away they all flew. a tree all in the wood, the prettiest little tree that you ever did see. Well, the tree was in a hole, the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now in that tree there was a nest, the prettiest little nest that you ever did see. Well, the nest was in the tree was in the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now in that nest there was an egg, the prettiest little egg that you ever did see. Well, the egg was in the nest was in the tree was in the hole, and the hole was in the ground. The green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now on that egg there was a bird, the prettiest little bird that you ever did see. Well, the bird was on the egg was in the nest was in the tree, and the tree was in the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now on that bird there was a wing, the prettiest little wing that you ever did see. Well, the wing was on the bird was on the egg was in the nest was in the tree was in the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now on that wing there was a feather, the prettiest little feather that you ever did see. Well, the feather was on the wing was on the bird was on the egg, and the egg was in the nest was in the tree, and the tree was in the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Now on that feather there was a bug, the prettiest little bug that you ever did see. Well, the bug was on the feather was on the wing was on the bird, and the bird was on the egg was in the nest, and the nest was in the tree was in the hole, and the hole was in the ground, and the green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Yes, the green grass grew all around, all around. The green grass grew all around. Ting-a-lay-o, run my little donkey, run. Ting-a-lay-o, run my little donkey, run. Me donkey walk, me donkey talk, me donkey eat with a knife and fork. Me donkey walk. run, my little donkey, run.
Oh, it's that time of the day again. Time to do a group activity and go and enjoy your weekend. Okay, this one is called Special Star. This one's for everybody listening. So this one, we imagine a special star in the night sky that helps us to relax our bodies and quiet our minds. Alright? So take a seat or lie down, get comfortable. Close your eyes. And just breathe in and breathe out. Just breathe normally, naturally. But just notice your breath. Notice how it feels. Right now, we're going to imagine there is a star in the sky just for you. Just imagine that star. It can look like anything at all. Think of that star. Imagine that star. And it can be any color. And it may change from moment to moment and day to day, just as everything changes. Imagine that star. Sometimes large, sometimes small. Sometimes bright and sometimes dim. Imagine that star. Your special star is always there. Now let's feel the warmth of the star on different parts of our body. Can you feel the warmth? Can you feel the warmth of the star on your toes? Can you feel the warmth of the star on your nose? Feel the warmth of the star on your ears. You feel the warmth of the star on your elbows. Feel the warmth of the star on your fingers. Now you can open your eyes because we are done. And that was a special star activity. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show today, and thanks so much for tuning in. We're coming up to the ad break now, That was the Secret Kindergarten radio show, and we'll see you next week.